The Wisconsin Election Integrity Group, wisconsinelectionintegrity.org, and thanks to the caller yesterday who alerted me to this, is doing some amazing work. Karen McKim is going to be with us in just a second. This is a little clip from a video that they're putting together, or they've put together. Check this out. Listen to this.
In Racine County, they were only going to do a machine count. We decided to do our own hand count. We can see the ballots very clearly. Our numbers were quite a bit off from the scanner. So we brought this up immediately to the county clerk and said, you know, we think this machine did not count these ballots correctly. If we could have somebody just hand count this one small ward, they absolutely refused to do that.
Wow. So Karen McKim is with us with WisconsinElectionIntegrity.org. Karen, and you can tweet Karen at Karen_McKim, M-C-K-I-M. And the website, of course, is WisconsinElectionIntegrity.org. Karen, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's delightful to be on here.
Yeah, you guys are doing amazing work. I looked up Racine County this morning, and it looks like up until about 10 years ago, Racine County was kind of 50-50. They'd occasionally elect a Republican, but since around 2005, it seems, Racine County has been more than 50% Democratic voting. Might that have anything to do with why so many votes did not get counted for president in the last election in Wisconsin and Racine County?
It might have. It didn't have anything to do with the fact that Racine County used a machine called an Optech Eagle that was incapable of reading many absentee and mailed-in ballots. And so to the extent the Democratic Party pushed its voters to use early and absentee vote ballots more than maybe the Republican Party did, I don't know, that would account for more of the Democratic votes being missed.
Wow. So tell us exactly what happened. People vote on paper, and they think, oh, it's a paper ballot, and then that paper gets read by an optical scanning machine. You were, if what I read is correct, you were hitting, in some places in Racine County, you were hitting 30% of the presidential votes not being counted?
The 30.8% miscounting machine was in Marinette County, in the city of Marinette. The voting machines in Racine County, the ones that we audited, the day hand count of, we found out that they missed 2.5% of the votes, which is 1 in every 40 votes, which is just outrageous.
Yeah, but 1 out of 3 is even worse.
Oh, I know. And that city of Marinette miscount, the election officials noticed that during their canvass, and they certified anyway. Wow. That's the main point we want to make with with this activity we're doing. Our election officials don't notice, and if they notice, they don't correct even obvious electronic miscounts. You know, what message does that send to the hackers or the corrupt insiders that want to corrupt our voting machines? If they know the election officials will see as many as a third of the votes go missing and not do anything about it.
Now, Donald Trump won Wisconsin by a fairly small margin. My recollection is it was around 17,000 votes. Am I remembering right?
Oh, gosh, I don't have that number off the top of my head. I think it was closer to 20, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay, well, let's say 20,000.
Yeah.
Do you think that more than 20,000 votes got lost?
Well, in the recount, if you look at the results of the recount, and they're posted right there on the Wisconsin Election Commission website, you can see that the county clerks in Wisconsin changed at least a minimum of 17,681 votes in the recount. And that's only when they ran, half the ballots back through the same voting machines that they counted them on before.
And this was not a statewide recount. This was a recount that was limited to a few counties, right?
Oh, no, the Wisconsin recount last year in 2016 was a full statewide recount. Yeah, we're proud of that. Wisconsin was the one state that pulled off a full statewide recount in that presidential election.
But the recount did not involve actually counting the paper ballots, or did it?
Wisconsin law leaves that up to the county. Then the county clerks in the larger counties chose to use voting machines in the recount, and the smaller counties tended to count by hand. And it ended up that about half the ballots were run back through voting machines and half were hand counted.
Through the scanners, yeah. So
no, they were hand count. In half the ballots were hand counted.
Right, but the half that were run through the voting machines, they were actually run through a scanner that tabulated the votes.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
Okay.
And that's what Racine did, and that's why they got the same miscount in both the election and the recount.
So is the bumper sticker here, the bottom line, the summary of what you discovered, that these optical scanners are, in some cases, particularly, it's missing 30% of the votes for president, highly unreliable, or is this a function of the scanners? I mean, the optical scanners, they use little tiny, LED sensor kind of things, or whatever they're called, it's like in a camera. And sometimes they just get paper dust on them, they get crud on them over time, it makes it harder for them to read, they get misaligned. I mean, is this a maintenance problem? Is this a computer problem? Is this we should go back to just doing it all by hand problem? What's going on?
All of the above. Voting machines are just like any other computers. They're a little more simple than most business computers, and they're maintained and operated by, again, bless their hearts, our local election officials who have no particular IT experience or expertise. So, yes, there's maintenance problems, there's accidental misprogramming problems. There was a ridiculous miscount in Stoughton, Wisconsin, just 3 years ago or so, with a referendum that was totally miscounted simply by an accidental programming error. They can get dust bunnies in them. That happened. This particular miscount, the one that was so bad in the November presidential election, not just in Racine County but elsewhere, was blamed on ink color, that the older voting machines couldn't read ink that didn't have carbon in it. And because so many people marked their ballots by mail and mailed them in, they were using the wrong color ink, and the machine was blind to it.
Right.
And our local election officials didn't take the effort to, check that those votes were being counted. They just ignored it.
Right.
And
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think that's the entire reason, because if it was ink color, you'd probably see, a fairly standard miscount rate across all precincts, because you don't have precincts where all the voters at home decided to use green highlighters to mark their ballots.
Right. Yeah, Karen, we're almost out of time. We're talking to Karen McKim, who is the coordinator with the Wisconsin electionintegrity.org. Do you see anything that might be construed as evidence of malice, of essentially a hack?
Deliberate miscounting, no. Deliberate carelessness about accuracy, yes. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna calm down about this just because it was accidental.
Right.
Our election officials knew that those machines were miscounting, or should have known. We could see the miscounts just sitting at home at our desks, and we're not the ones paid to make sure that they're accurate.
Wow.
And yet they went ahead and certified anyway. I mean, that's how we knew which precinct
that is amazing,
because we could see the miscounts.
There you go. Karen McKim, she's the coordinator of WisconsinElectionIntegrity.org. You can check it out on the web. You can tweet her at Karen_McKim, M-C-K-I-M. Karen, thank you.
Thank you.
Great talking with you.